Welcome to AI Because and the podcast that we're going to chat about. And no, you're not imagining things. And then there were three.
And there were three, yes.
Right.
The Michael is wandering around the world, and we joke. It's like, where in the world is Waldo? Where in the world is Michael? So he's traveling around, and then Greg is in the mountains with cows. So it's his busy season. So you've got Steve and Manoj and I, and so what we're going to be covering today is just chatting about our perspective and what we've been involved in this week. And Manoj is going to give us some additional functionality stuff on deep research Perplexity, as well as some additional stuff in Copilot. So short and sweet. I'm excited to chat with you guys. So if you're okay, can we just dive in, Manoj, to what you've got going, and then we'll come out of that and chat about some other stuff. How's that?
Absolutely, yeah. Let's do it.
Okay, cool.
Okay, so the first functionality, which is a new functionality introduced in a tool called Perplexity, I want to show is the ability for deep research. So we track these new happenings as and when they come, but a lot of the small business owners may not be that updated. But one of the trends in the AI tool, which is really good for small and medium businesses, is that these AI tools, they're adding the ability to do deep research, which is similar to something you would hire a risk analyst to do, where you'll give an analysis task to a risk analyst. They'll go for 2 weeks, 3 weeks, analyze, and then they'll write a report. And what these AI tools are trying to do is they're trying to mimic that functionality. And various tools like Google, ChatGPT, and now Perplexity, they're calling that functionality as deep research. And what this deep research does is that you give it the task on which you want to do the research. You give all the context, and then it goes and does the analysis. So to demonstrate, I want to show an example of our bakery we've been carrying on. So in this case, we are a Texan bakery, and we plan to open our first bakery in New York. So we want to then use this new functionality to help us do some initial research on what are the different things we need to consider before we even start that process of opening and expanding into New York. So this is an example of a prompt I have then provided. And because this analysis takes some time, it'll take like 5 minutes to go and do the thinking. I've already done the task, so we don't have to then wait during this podcast.
Can I interrupt and pause real quick? Are you okay? Because what you just said, it's going to take 5 minutes, and this is what Matt Wolf was talking about, that Perplexity claimed, is that deep research in Gemini, deep research takes typically longer than 5 minutes. And so one of the things that they were talking about is how much quicker it's going to return results than even within the space. So you were talking about an analyst, but then also comparing to other tools that are in this space as well. So back to you, sir.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. No, very valid point. So in this case, I have created a prompt of what are the different analysis I need to do. So I'm giving the AI tool an objective that I want a detailed analysis of all the activities that should be considered. And then I'm asking it to do analysis in all these different sections. So I want an introduction. I want a market analysis of the New York bakery market, legal regulatory requirements. So I won't go into each one of these, but I've listed about 10 different sections I want. And then I've given a little bit of instructions that it should use credible sources, because what it's going to do is it's going to go on the internet and do the search, find the search results based on each of the topics I've highlighted. It'll read those different web pages, analyze them, and include the relevant aspects in my final report. So I only want then reputable sources to be included in that analysis. And this is what it did. So when I submitted this, if I expand, then these were the different steps. So this is what is unique and new with these deep research capabilities in the AI tool, where it'll tell you what it was doing in each of these steps. So you just submit, and then it has gone and looked at 58 different web pages or websites to help me write the final report. And it goes through sort of, the various steps that it was looking at. Legal and regulatory requirements here. It was looking at the competitive landscape here. It was doing a location analysis here. So this is something you are able to see now, which without deep research, you had to do like each one of these as separate tasks, and it was very fragmented. But now with the deep research capabilities, with one prompt, with one question, you can get AI to do all that work for you. And then the only cost here is the time that you just have to wait. That previously, yeah, they would give you the results, within a second. Now you may have to wait for 4 or 5 minutes for it to do the analysis. And this is the output then it created after it completed all that analysis, where it analyzed the New York bakery market to say that, okay, it's expected to grow 3.3%, 3 billions of revenue. It's giving what are the key trends we need to consider if you're going to New York. What does the competitive landscape look like? The target demographics? What are the different licenses that we would need? And without this deep research capability, I would need an analyst, or I would need to hire a consultant to come and do that analysis, which I may still have to do, but now the consultant or the analyst can then work on the next step. So at least I can do my first level of research using the AI tool, and the analyst can then go and use this as a starting point. So maybe it can save them 50% of the effort, they would have to spend if they did not have access to this capability.
Well, and I think, Manoj, to your point, is that it's not just that if you're going to hire an analyst, there's a lot of solopreneurs or people just starting out that they're doing this themselves.
Yes.
So you talk about the 58 resources, whatever else is going on, and they may or may not get the quality. And at least this way, you've got a starting point to where you can drill down.
Yes.
Because this is a heavy lift. It's all that stuff, especially if you have someone, expanding a bakery or in business for a bakery, or expanding whatever. Uh,
Mhm.
you are going into business for what you have a passion around and what you're good at, and odds are it's not analytics or
That-
the business thing of it, but yet because the budget isn't there, we end up doing it.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. And that's why I wanted to show Perplexity because the same functionality is available in ChatGPT, but on the $200 version. It's not available on the $20 version, but with Perplexity, it is available on the $20 version. So then it's a lot more affordable, or at least you have access to this functionality compared to with ChatGPT, where you have to pay, a lot more to get access to the deep research
Yeah.
capability.
Yeah. 200. Yeah. So 10 times.
$200.
No,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. And Perplexity also then has better connections to the internet where ChatGPT still cannot go and read every website as part of the deep research. So it's still ChatGPT is limited in terms of the number of websites it can go and access. But why will Perplexity, there's a much bigger range of websites it can go and
Yeah.
access
So
as
now
part.
there's at least three in the realm of, so Gemini,
Mhm.
OpenAI has that level in the Pro, as well as Perplexity now.
Well,
Uh,
and OpenAI will be coming soon with Plus. So
yeah,
uh, pretty soon we'll be able to test all three out and compare them.
yeah, cool.
Yeah,
I love it.
absolutely. Okay. So this is one, yeah, new capability which we wanted to share, can save a lot of time for small and medium business owners.
And how are people accessing this, Manoj, if you're in Perplexity?
Yes, if I just go to the home page, then this is where this option is
Oh, okay. So
available.
it's just right there. You're not
Yeah.
having to
So you
find it.
just select, yeah, you just select deep research and then go and type your task.
Cool.
But then because it's doing a very detailed research, you have to give all the context in one prompt. So that's the difference between how you would have used it without deep research. Because you have to then put all the context in one prompt so that it knows everything you need. So it can then go to whatever websites in one go and get all that information for you.
So are you able to interact with it after it comes back with the original, with the initial?
Yeah, absolutely. You can.
Okay, all right.
Yeah,
So
you,
you're
you can
not, you're
absolutely
just
take
have
it. Yeah.
you needing to front load it because it's going out to do deep research.
Yeah.
Otherwise, it's going to take you 50 times longer.
Yes,
Okay,
absolutely. Yeah.
cool.
Okay, so that is one functionality which I wanted to show.
I love it.
The second functionality I want to share is from Microsoft Copilot, which is where there is a functionality to share prompts between teams. So if there are different users within a team who are using prompts, Microsoft has recently added a functionality where you can share those prompts and create them either in a personal library So you can then access that prompt in Word or PowerPoint or Excel. So you have access to those prompts across the different tools. But you can also then share those prompts with the teams, and then everybody else gets access to those prompts. So if I have saved a couple of prompts here, but the way I would use it, so let me go and let's create a new document here. So if I go into a Word document, and let's say I want to write a prompt, but I don't want to write it from scratch. I want to pick it from the library where I have saved it. So in this case, okay, sorry about that.
Oh,
So
you're good.
here I will click on Copilot, and from Copilot, you have access to the prompts library from here. Yeah, so here you can click on View Prompts, and then Microsoft displays its own set of prompts, which are generic prompts. But
Yeah.
if you want to then focus on the prompts you have written for your team, then you can click on See All Prompts. And this is where you are able to then see your prompts. If I click on your prompts, then these are the prompts I have created in the past. So I can then go and get quick access to these prompts. So in this case, this is a prompt for identifying risks. This is a prompt for documenting controls to manage the risk. So I can now get access to these prompts from any of the Microsoft Office application. Because previously you had to write those prompts somewhere in a notepad, and then you had to copy and
Yeah.
paste it when you were going into different application, and it soon gets very messy in terms of managing the number of prompts. But now you've got a little bit more control, and you can then promote those prompts to be available across your team. So if you want to then share it with other team members, then you can upgrade the security of that prompt so it also then becomes available. And there are other team members who also then get access. So you then benefit from the collective knowledge of the prompts being written by
How do
different
you do the upgrade?
so there is a setting where you click on here, and then you just click on share.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so it's that
So
easy. And
is
then
there an ability to, well, I guess it's obvious, but I was just going to say if you look at categorization of things, because I think this is awesome that they've
Mhm.
taken it from, to your point, I'm saving it and just saving it where and for what thing and who has access. So they're saving it in a specified location. They've identified as a prompt.
Mhm.
But the ability to just do a brief description of the what this prompt is, but I guess in the prompt it tells you because I mean, if you've done a good prompt, you've established the role for AI, you've established what you're searching for, what's going on. Yeah.
Yeah, so you would, okay, so if I just demonstrate one example there. So let's say if I have this prompt, and then if we just say of bribery risk. So in this case, then this is what you do when you click on, so I want to save this prompt so I can use it later. You just click on save prompt, and this is where you can then give it a
Okay.
reference so that you can easily find it. And then I can just call it as bribery risk image. So the prompt will still stay here, but this is where you can give it a
Okay.
user-friendly
I
title so
like
that
that a lot. Yeah, I think that's
Okay.
pretty
later when you
cool.
want to find it, it's easier for other team members to find that particular prompt.
Well, and I love that because what happens a lot of times, I don't know if you guys do this, but I do this.
Mhm.
Uh, to the point, like you were talking with deep research, you have to front load all that stuff, is that I've gotten so deep into the adjustments and the whatever that I've lost the original prompt. And so then you've got to like add and try and figure out and scroll back up and figure out where it is. But if you can do, if you like the output or the
Mhm.
tweaks, you can save it in the moment and not have to worry about that.
Yeah.
Because I do get lost and stuff because I use, for me, it's chat. So it's just chalk AI, right? I use it so much that it would be cool to go back to a prompt that really worked, even though you're not going to necessarily get the same output each time, but hopefully you're going to get close.
Yeah, so that's where I saved the prompt, and now it's available in my prompt, your prompt library. So we saved it as a bribery risk image. So it's available here. And then if you want, so it won't be available in the teams yet because you have to then go and say, okay, I want to share it with the team.
Right.
Mhm.
And then it'll be available. So I'll just say with my Risk Spotlight internal team, I can click on share, and then it will be available to the rest of the team.
Yeah,
So
and
those
probably,
are good ways, yeah, in terms of team productivity, where if you have marketing team members in different countries or different department, now they can all collaborate and have and store those prompts in a central place where they are easy to find.
yeah, and it would be, can you organize them into folders, subfolders and all that? Probably that'll be coming if it's not there already.
Yeah, not at the moment, at least on the Teams one. Yeah, it's only by the teams. Over here, yeah, there are some categorizations, so I need to go and see whether, yeah, it's possible because Microsoft gives these categorizations around the tasks and job type, but I haven't seen where the internal prompts using those categories. But the Microsoft prompt library you get, that you can say, so if you wanted all the marketing related prompts, I can then filter and see all the
Oh,
Microsoft
that's
standard
good.
prompts which they are
Yeah.
providing for marketing. So there is categorization for the
Oh, I see.
prompt
So they
library.
have their own prompt library with generic stuff.
Yeah, yeah. So Microsoft is then giving also, they're collecting a good prompts from various disciplines. So they have then organized those prompts by these different categories.
Mhm.
Uh, so there is categorization for Microsoft prompt library, but not for the internal one yet. So, but I'm assuming that that'll be the
Well,
next
and I
step.
was when you went there, I thought, wow, is it, and it could be intuitive enough to read the prompt and then categorize it itself.
Yes, but not yet.
Yeah, yeah.
Not
No,
yet.
that's probably coming tomorrow, right?
Probably, yes.
As all the stuff updates. This is freaking cool. I love it. You know, it's interesting, guy, because I was thinking when we're going through all this functionality and we were stepping in to, record today's podcast, is all the freaking change that's
Mm,
happened. All the stuff that, I mean, more times not now than before, I'm talking to people and people that are using AI in some capacity. And people that I'm going to say 2 months ago, 3 months ago were not. And so that's the interesting, exciting part for me and how people are tapping into it. And it's like, and then there's this question mark, because I was in a conversation, I think it was yesterday, commenting that so and so had written something up, it was in a business setting and it was actually really good. And I asked him, did you use AI for this? That would never have been a question, probably 6 months ago between them or a year ago between anyone. And the gal actually came back and she goes, no, actually, I wrote that myself. And so people, I think what it does in those situations too is when you've got a good quality output that AI didn't create, it elevates the human of, wow, you've got talent that the rest of us schmucks basically are using AI to do this, and you did this on your own.
yeah,
It's just an interesting layer or dimension to what's going on today.
no, absolutely, absolutely.
So what are you seeing, Steve, in your world and what's going on lately? I know you and I have been a lot of time on a client project recently.
The thing that's kind of I thought was the most interesting this week is that the U.S. Patent Office recently issued guidelines of what when AI can and cannot be patentable. Okay, so as a general, the general principle is that if AI is used as an input into the creative process, you can patent it. But you cannot simply patent, which is not a surprise, right? That you can't simply go and do a prompt, get an image, and expect to patent that image, right?
No, but
So
you can patent the prompt.
no, actually, no. There's a
You
lot
can't patent the prompt.
there right now. There doesn't seem to be a way to patent the prompt.
Well, it's not patent, you'd copyright. It would be
Well,
copywriting.
let's put it
Yeah.
like this. There right now, there seems to be a thought that if you're just using AI, right, that's not patentable, right?
Right.
Right. And
I,
so
and
there,
I and I
yeah,
agree with that. I
yeah,
mean, 100% agree with that.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
It's
I
not,
do
it's
too.
it's shared because the AI stuff, the source of it is community knowledge, and you don't air quote own the AI.
Hmm. Yeah.
And I think that makes total sense. Did
Yeah.
you see, and I don't know, this is small to medium-sized business owners, but I was just all the news that pops up now, and the algorithms are such that, as you're watching more stuff around technology, is the basketball team that's practicing with robots, that the robots are throwing the balls to them for them to, shoot baskets, whatever it may be. And so it's this rapid fire AI that adjusts based on what's going on. And I'm just like, holy, I think it's awesome.
Oh, it
It's
is
kind of
awesome.
like the dog ball shooter at home, where the ball will the thing will just shoot the ball out for the dog. The dog goes back, it runs and drops the ball where it needs to be, and the shooter goes back out. But this is the thing is, they don't have to retrieve the balls right now and bring them back because they're a pro team. But I thought it was pretty freaking cool.
It's funny. I was reading, there's some big event, and I have to go back and remind I read this in the local paper. They are planning to utilize robo taxis. And
Yeah,
I don't mean the kind that the auto driving on the street. I'm
yeah.
talking about the air taxis now.
Oh, those ones, yeah,
Yes. This event's like 2, 3 years away, and they're
yeah.
already considering the possibility of using
Oh,
these.
yeah. Oh,
So
yeah.
I think it's going to be mind blowing, the rate of change, because the AI itself is getting so smart, and then you add in the robots, you add in other complementary technologies like 3D printing, and it's just it's like who knows where this ends up.
Well, and the rate of adoption is going to start accelerating because it'll just be the new norm.
Mhm.
I don't know that I'm going to be first in line to fly one of those taxis, but more power to people or the autonomous. I mean, I saw a lot of, is it Waymo? Waymo, the
Yeah.
taxis,
Waymo, yeah.
yeah, I saw a lot of those in San Francisco.
Yeah, they are.
And it was just so out of body experience, and it won't be in the future.
Yeah.
Just to pull up next to one and go, there's literally no one in the
I
front
think the
seat.
car, right.
No one in the front seat. So it's just, and navigating busy San Francisco traffic. I mean, it was, a Monday evening, but it was still busy traffic. So it was funny. Manoj, how about you?
Yeah, yeah. No, on our side, yeah, we are getting ready for our first Copilot course. I'm teaching next week.
That's
So
exciting.
we have participants right from chief risk officers to risk analysts from various companies from Sri Lanka and Canada and Ireland who are joining us. So at the moment, yeah, fully busy with marketing that course, preparing that course, and of course, yeah, using a lot of AI in all
Yeah.
that.
Yeah. I love it. I love it. I appreciate this time in the room with you guys. And until next time, this has
We
been
got the
AI Because.
spark
Please like,
in the
share, subscribe,
circuits
and we will
now.
see you soon.
Assemblies
Thank you.
listen,
All
we'll
right,
show
thank you.
you how. A new wave rising, it's clear and loud. AI's the future, let's make you proud. Data and dreams combine in the air. From cloud to code, oh, we're everywhere. Innovation driving, we're breaking ground. With AI tools, let's turn it around. AI become a use. We're powering your moves. Tech that's here for good, bringing all the moods.